What's up, everyone? Welcome to a brand new episode of Cat Talks Life. Brr, 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 brr. Okay. As always, I'm late to the party, but here we are. Last episode was called 111 for New Beginnings. This one is called 222 for the Right Path. Now, before we get started, of course, shameless plugs. Follow me on all my socials, Instagram, TikTok. My TikTok has been growing. It's been a lot of fun. Subscribe to me on my YouTube channel, Cat Attacks Life Podcast, on Spotify. At KATMUGOT, that is my name on Instagram and TikTok. Okay, let's get into it. So, I want to talk about the right path. I'm going to ask you the question, what are you trying to do with your life right now, baby girl? For the next 5 years, where do you see yourself? What is the vision? Okay, it could be as simple as being rich, which is what we all want, right? Maybe you're in a mansion, maybe you have luxurious things around you. You just have a choice, right? You're not obligated to be anywhere. You want all that money, of course. That's what I want. That's what I'm manifesting and working towards. Or you could be someone who is very humanitarian like. Maybe you love helping people. Maybe you love helping animals. Maybe that's something that makes you feel fulfilled. Or both. ¿Por qué no los dos? You know what I mean? So if you're like me, we want both, right? We want to be able to help people and have a lot of money. So whatever your higher vision is, first of all, I'm going to tell you right now, it is 100% possible and you are 103% capable. Okay. Um, Hello, everyone. I did want to talk about how to manage that, that really means in terms of like what our efforts are going. Because when we talk about the bigger picture, it seems so far away. But when the reality is that it's right here, right now. It's actively working. You're actively working towards it. Number one thing in your mindset right now is that you have to move like you're already there. In order for you to achieve the thing that you want to achieve, you have to act like the person that is already there. Right? If you want $1 million, you got to do what people with $1 million are doing. You got to make decisions like they make decisions, right? You have to work to get there, but you have to work as you are already there. It's weird. But that's a kind of like trick that a lot of people use in order to manifest and work for the things that they want. I can tell you right now, my perception on life and the way that I see things has changed because of that little trick. I know everything's possible for me, right? I have say all these affirmations all the time. I'm working towards different things. I have all these ideas. It's possible. So if you're like me, you and I right now are gonna get along, and I want to be able to tell you all these little secrets in terms of the success that we're actively working towards. I say we because if you're like me, we're sharing that energy. You're probably my friend listening to this. Hey. Thank you for listening. I love you. Okay. So yes, we're in control of everything. We are responsible for every move that we make. We can get influenced, and that's another part of the conversation, by the people around us, our environment, our moods, right? Maybe our loved ones, our family, our lovers, our friends. We're always going to feel somewhat influenced. And here's the thing. Our environment is 100% responsible for that. But you have to be responsible for your environment. Okay? So if you want success and more information on how to get to success, you have to put yourself in those rooms. You have to walk in rooms that you feel really small in, but everyone around you is helping you, and every single person you talk to has this information that you've never heard before, and you take it, you take down your notes, right? You go back home with all this information and the lessons that you've learned, and you apply it. That's what you need to be doing. So in the environments that you're in right now, if you feel so uncomfortable in a bad way, where you don't feel seen, heard, validated, where you don't feel supported, you're in the wrong environment. Okay, number one tip that I like to give people is that you have to listen to your body. You have to listen to your body. Your body is going to know more than your mind ever will at first. So if you are triggered, uncomfortable, anxious, angry, upset, drained, okay, especially in your energy levels, that's because you're in the wrong environment. And let's move accordingly. Once you know that, and once you admit to yourself and you're aware, it's your responsibility to move from that space, because it's not good for you. Not in the short term and not in the long term. Okay, especially in the long term. So again, like, you're responsible for that. I think the number one thing a lot of people neglect is being accountable for the decisions that they make. Okay. Like when I was younger, I would always like throw myself into different situations and different things and different like whatever it was, whether it be good for me or bad for me. I wouldn't know, right? I just threw myself and I had to learn the hard way. I was stubborn. I was oblivious, aloof, and stubborn at the same time. I don't know how that works out, but I ended up like learning really, really early on that some things, you know what, let's not do some things. You know what, let's not try to do that over and over again. I only like get hurt once in order for me to understand what I have to do now. So it's changed for me, but I feel like a lot of people don't want to look at the decisions that they make and like be responsible for it. They don't want to be like, oh, I fucked up. Admitting these things to yourself is uncomfortable, but you know what's more uncomfortable is that staying in the wrong decision that you made, being completely uncomfortable all the time because you refuse. Your pride says no, we have to stick it out because I made this decision, but subconsciously you're like dying. That's one thing people don't do that I'm now trying to move away from, especially move away from those people who do that as well. Like people who keep themselves in these narratives and people who keep themselves in this victim mentality. I can't do it. That is not me. Couldn't be me. I can't do it. Now I'm so strong about enforcing like my boundaries and enforcing what I want, need, and my non-negotiables. Okay? Because once I feel uncomfortable, I listen to myself first. I'm not listening to everyone else and their noise. I'm not listening to, people outside of me because I know the answer. Right? Side note, if you hear my cat yelling, meowing through this, it's because I had to put him in the room because he was being a little annoying butt face. Anyways, back to the conversation. So like I had to make these decisions for myself because I know what the answer is. All these other people don't. Just because they claim they do, they don't know what's best for you. Okay? Don't listen to these people. They don't know you like you know you. And that's another thing. You should know you 105% first. We're going to go back to the conversation of you're in control. Baby girl, you have to put yourself in the position of you're the CEO of your life. You're in control of everything, okay? So if you know where you're coming from, everything else, all your actions are going to speak for you, and you can't have everyone's filter. You can't have everyone's perception of you like eat at you or try to move and budge your energy because they're not you. Don't listen to people who don't want to be accountable. Don't listen to people whose bigger picture is not your bigger picture, or don't listen to people who don't make you feel safe. First of all, okay. And the environment that you're in, again, is like number one in terms of being influenced. Like you really have to be aware of what you're consuming and who you're around and what they think and how they think. It speaks on your character. It's a reflection of you, right? It's a direct reflection of you. Who you're close with, who you call friends. First of all, the title friends is very exclusive to me, and not everyone is my friend. I know a lot of people, but not everyone is my friend, okay? If you get hurt hearing that, I don't know what to tell you, dude. Because the right people, for me, always make an effort. The right people, for me, want to understand. We understand each other. There's a lot of intimate conversations. There's a lot of deep, profound realizations. Those are my friends, okay? Those are the ones that know me past the surface, past the social, past the, external extroverted representative that you see. I'm a very like particular person, and just because you think I'm not observant, you better change that. You better change that assumption because I'm watching everything. That's really intense. I'm sorry, not sorry, but this is what I mean. Like the title friends, I'm not just gonna give away. Not everyone has access to me like that. Why would I have everyone in my space? That's a lot of clutter, and sometimes the people I've met along my journey are not going to be in my present journey. Sometimes I gotta leave people where they're at. Like, we meet these people at times and they feel really good to us, and like, yeah, we want you. I want you on this journey. Sometimes it's not gonna be like that. Sometimes there's gonna be spaces of like silence, and maybe spaces of like, okay, this is where you are. I'm gonna drop you off, and that's all subconscious to me, where it's like I'm growing in my own pace, in my own way, in my own path. And if the people in my life who, I used to be really close with or like call friends at one point can't follow, can't pick up, I'm not responsible for that. Again, the people in my life, in my circle, are always going to make an effort to be better because we're all getting better. It's all about progress to me. We're chasing progress. And if someone in my circle can't do that, I am not the one to tell them anything else. I'm not the one to be like, okay, well, you should do this and that. I hate when people tell me I should do something. I'm not going to do that to somebody else. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just got to drop people off where they are. And if they want to follow, they'll follow. That's it for me. You know what I mean? Because I'm going to keep moving forward in terms of my higher vision. Here's a quote that I heard recently. It goes something like this. Surround yourself with people who are not just good to you, but who are good for your journey. Let me say that one more time. Surround yourself with people who are not just good to you, but good for your journey. It hurts sometimes, It hurts sometimes being like, oh, like this person went through this with me and they're not in my life anymore. I've kind of like come to acceptance with that. Like, not everyone you meet is supposed to be there, because sometimes you have to make space. You have to make space for people who are supposed to be there and give you information and give you all this love, light, and lessons. And like, that's where the magic happens towards your higher vision. You know what I mean? Surround yourself with the right people. Know who the right people are for you. Okay, don't settle for less. Always have non-negotiables. Always be practicing enforcing your boundaries. Okay, it's not enough to just have them and be like, this is what they are. This is their place. You have to practice enforcing them. And that means with yourself. If you have boundaries with yourself, those are first, right? And if you're crossing your own boundaries, like, everyone else has become a lot easier. Everyone else's energy is going to influence you, and you're not going to like it, and you're going to wonder why. It's like, oh, but I have these boundaries. It's because you're not enforcing them, okay? Your non-negotiables and your boundaries are best friends. They should be like this. They should be like this, okay? They're the ones that are protecting you. You should be aware of your front line. I like to think of like my energy as like a reserve, a bank. Like, you need like the correct password, passcode. Like, no one else has access to this except the people that I allow to have this passcode. And your passcode has the non-negotiables, awareness of boundaries, all of that. That's access to me, Not everyone's going to have access to you, nor should they at all, because you have to keep a lot for yourself. I'm an introverted person by nature. I know that's a surprise to people, but I'm a very like particular, selective person. When I go out and I'm this party, whoop whoop, that's because I choose to. Okay, if I want to stay home for 2 weeks straight and just work on my projects, that's what I'm gonna do as well. It has nothing to do with everyone else's, pressure on me. I hate peer pressure. I hate being peer pressured into things. So it's like, I am going to be very, very selective with the energy that I keep around, because I'm sensitive. I'm a very sensitive person in the same light. So since I am very sensitive, I have to be, completely in control of what I do and the things that I see and the people that I keep close. Okay, so if you're like me, you have to be aware of your environment. You have to be aware of the people that have access to you. Sometimes they don't have the best intentions, and that hurts. That hurts after the fact, because like I said, you put time and energy into building a solid friendship, and then it just becomes like nothing. Something happens, or like they show their true colors, and it's just like, wow, you got to move on. You got to move forward. So that's the thing too. If someone isn't comfortable with bettering themselves or changing or moving forward, they're not going to move forward with you, right? Again, if you are someone who loves betterment and health and wellness, like me, you want people who are in the same way, in the same path, in the same direction. Okay. Even if they're super cool in your line, sometimes it doesn't work well. It doesn't work well. Okay. Um, so again, you're in control of everything. You're in control of all of this, right? You're in control of your environment. You're in control of your energy, who you allow to have access to you, and you're in control of your money. Let me get into money. We want to talk about money. I've really involved my consumption of information in terms of finance, financial literacy, personal finance. That gets me going now. I just want to talk about money. You guys, I feel like we should normalize money conversations. I've been saying this for the last 3-4 weeks. Normalize having money conversations. Talk about the debt that you have. Talk about how much you make. Talk about how much you want to save. Talk about all these investments that you're making. First of all, everyone should have a Roth IRA. If you don't talk to me about money. If you are invested in crypto, don't talk to me about money, because that's not how you make money, okay? I'm really into it. Read this book called I Will Teach You to Be Rich by Ramit Sethi, and it has changed my life. I'm not even paid. I'm not being paid to talk about this or whatever. This book literally changed my life. Okay, everyone should get their hands on I Will Teach You to Be Rich, and follow my dude Ramit Sethi on Instagram. When I read that book, when I finished that book, first of all, you guys, I was like, wow, it really is this simple to be rich. It really is to be this simple to save money and put it in the right spaces. Okay, here's the thing about it. Everyone's relationship with money is like their relationship with their parents. Okay, there's trauma involved with it. Money is a very, very specific taboo conversation to have, because a lot of people's perception on it is like, oh, if you have enough, look, if you have so much that you're not doing anything to change the world, blah blah blah. And it's like, why is it so negative to you? Someone has that amount of money, they're not even obligated to do anything with it. Okay, so someone's rich as Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk, they're not responsible for anything. They just have a lot of money. So if you want a lot of money, are you expected to do anything with it? I mean, if you want to, that's you. But I think that everyone's perception is so different. When you control your personal finance, you control your entire life. Money is energy. Currency is energy. Okay, the more that you have, the more that you can do. Money is freedom and choices. We all want this, right? So I think we should be able to talk about our choices of money and our finance and what that means, because a lot of people like to make it complicated. And that's how richer people take advantage of people who don't know the language. Okay, you learn another language, it's going to be personal finance. You better learn these things, because it's super, super simple. When I finished the book, I did things, I applied everything that he was telling me, and it became so much simpler, guys. We all love money. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about the things that we love, right? Create that space for abundance, because if we're manifesting things for a higher vision, all of that abundance is going to come through. I'm opening that door because I deserve it, and I know I'm going to get to where I want my bank account to look like, okay? On my fridge is a whiteboard, and I put $1 million. I wrote $1 million on there, because that's going to be me. That is in my bank account as we speak, right? And we're actively working towards it. That's the thing. When we want more of something, you have to believe it's already yours, okay? So be in control of your personal finance, dude. I don't know, right? Come speak with me when you want to have this conversation. But I think we should be talking about these problems, especially if we do have issues and problems with debt and saving. And it's okay. We're all going through that, but it's about speaking on it in order to fix it. You gotta address the problem in order to find a solution. And if your problem is not having enough, well, let's talk about it, okay? You guys, again, so we're here. Thank you so much for listening up to this point. Follow my socials, shameless plug number 2. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Spotify. I really appreciate everyone for listening. I want to keep this podcast short, sweet, and to the point because I want you to listen to it maybe during a break. Maybe you're driving to work. Maybe you're getting ready for work. Maybe you're, at home chilling and you just want something to listen to. Listen to your friend Cat Attack's Life podcast on Spotify. I'm really, really excited for the next season. You guys should all be excited. For my spiritual girls out there, retrograde season is slowly making its way out. As we record this, it's September 13th and September 14th and 15th are when Venus goes direct. No, Mercury and Venus go direct. So it's gonna feel a lot lighter. Again, this is for my spiritual girlies. So expect things to just flow a little naturally. Just expect yourself to feel a lot better. But again, you have to be in charge of that, right? You have to be able to realize that for yourself as well. I have so many projects that are coming up and ideas that are coming up. You're already here. Okay, we're already here on this journey. I just want to be able to tell you guys what's coming up. So expect the best in my life, in your life, and everything else. Okay, thank you so much for listening to this episode. I really, 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 really appreciate it. I will see you in the next one. Bye.